Hey, what's going on, guys? iDevice Help here. Today in this video, I got the comparison of Apple's brand new iPad mini with Retina display against Google's second generation of Google Nexus 7 tablets. This is the 2013 model. So let's go ahead and begin with some power up tests. I'm going to be running a few tests, speed tests and performance tests, CPU, Wi-Fi antenna, and all those good performance tests to see which device is actually better. So go ahead here and start by powering up. I'm going to grab the iPad mini here. The power on the iPad mini is on the top, and the power button on the Google Nexus is on the right. So we're going to go ahead and press it at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. So there we go, both devices booting up. So it looks like the iPad mini came in first in the boot up test, and the Google Nexus came in right behind it with about 5 seconds difference. So that's the boot up test. Alright guys, so now before we begin with all the software tests, let's go ahead and run through the hardware of the devices itself. With the first here with the Google Nexus 7, we have the 7-inch diagonal screen, and that is a 1920 by 1200 HD display at 1080p. Now it gives you 323 pixels per inch. That is really nice resolution. In front of the camera, or the front facing camera, is a 1.2 megapixel camera. The back of the device, you find a 5 megapixel camera, both shooting HD video. Now the device feels really light. It comes in at less than a pound at 0.64 or 0.66 if you have the LTE model. Also offers a 3,950 milliamp battery. Now Google claims it offers 9 hours of battery life. I barely got those 9 hours with my test running, 75% of the brightness, emailing, playing games and all that. 8.5, pushing 9 hours of battery life. So that's about right in there with what Google has claimed. Now we have stereo surround sound. We have the speaker and microphone in the bottom, and also a speaker grill on the top. So the sound is really nice and clear when you're holding it in landscape mode. Now this bad boy offers a Qualcomm Snapdragon 1.5 gigahertz processor inside this bad boy. We're going to test how good that actually performs. And of course you have the latest on wireless technology, dual band, supports A, B, G, N, and also Bluetooth 4.0. Also has Beam, which is NFC capabilities and all that good stuff. Now also it comes available in 16 gigabyte, 32 gigabytes, and it offers a 1 gigabyte of RAM. Now of course it offers the headphone jack, the volume button, all the good things that you can find on Google's Nexus 7 hardware. If you want to see the full review, you can check out my video. I do have a review on that. Now let's go ahead and jump over onto the iPad mini. Now on the iPad mini, we also have a 7-inch screen, but this is a 7.8-inch screen, which is a slightly bigger screen than the Google Nexus tablet here. Now in front of the device, you will also find a camera, which is the 1.2 megapixel camera, which shoots HD video. Now also in the back of the device, we also have a camera for video capture, and of course HD as well. Now also on the bottom of the device, we do have the 2 speakers. No speakers on the top, so it feels kind of weird sometimes when you're playing or listening to movies on landscape mode on this iPad, but it is a great sound from those speakers. Now it is really relatively light, also a little bit heavier than the Google Nexus. The iPad comes in at 0.73 if you have the Wi-Fi model, or 0.75 if you have the LTE model. Again, the screen is 7.8 inches. The width is 5 inches across. It is very light. Now the screen resolution is 2048 by 1536, which is incredible resolution at 326 pixels per inch here for the iPad mini second generation with Retina display. Memory wise, we have the 16, 32, 64, and 128. So you have more options to choose from as far as memory comes here for the iPad. It comes with Apple's 64-bit processing chip, which we all know it clocks in at 1.39 gigahertz processing power. The latest on wireless technology, 2 gigahertz, 4 gigahertz, and MIMO, which is a new wireless technology that Apple offers for the iPad. Of course, Bluetooth 4.0 and all the great on wireless technology. LTE and things like that. So a quick look around the device. If you do have a full review, you guys can go ahead and check it out. But both devices just feel really, really nice and light. The iPad comes preloaded with iOS 7. The Google Nexus, depending on when you buy it, might come with KitKat or Jelly Bean. So I'm going to go ahead and hold both devices side by side here. As you can see, the iPad is bigger. That 0.8 inches right there noticeable. It is a bigger screen, better real estate. But if you look at it width wise, it's about the same. But when you look at it from this perspective, you get extra room here for the screen. There you guys have it. And it is, like I said, about the same width and also weight. Not much of a difference. So enough for the physical tech specs. Let's go ahead and jump into the software specs now. Now, before I continue, I forgot to mention that Apple's 10 hours of battery life for the iPad mini actually are true. I managed to get 11.5 to 12 hours of battery life on one single charge for the iPad mini with Retina display. That is incredible time. Now, I did the same test running the screen about 75% brightness, just like I did for the Nexus. Also playing games and receiving emails, watching movies, and things like that. So Apple's claim of 10 hours actually has exceeded my expectation with 11.5 hours approximately of battery time for one single charge. Okay, now the first test is going to be a performance test. I have Geekbench 3 here running on both devices. Apple's iPad brings in a 1.29 gigahertz processor with iOS 7. Now the Integra 1.5 gigahertz processor here on the Google Nexus running Android 4.3. We're going to go ahead and run tests on both of the devices, which one performs better at CPU level. Alright, so it looks like the iPad mini Retina came in first with a single core score of 1392 and a dual core score of 2525. Really impressive here for the new iPad mini Retina display. Alright, so the Google Nexus 7 came in at a 624 single core performance and an 1898 multiple core performance. So the iPad mini absolutely crushed the Google Nexus 7 on performance as CPU performance, even though it claims to have a faster processing chip with better performance. Actually, the iPad mini came in with a better score. Now, if you guys have any doubts on the performance test of this video, you guys can go ahead and download these applications. Leave a comment down below and tell me if you have any of these devices and what were your scores. I'm really interested in knowing because sometimes these scores may vary. So this is the scores. I'll have a link to Geekbench down below so you guys can run them yourself in case you have any doubts on the performance of any of these devices. So let's go ahead and continue. So the next test is going to be Wi-Fi performance test. I'll go ahead here and show you Belkin 74.5 gigahertz connected here on the Nexus, and the same one here, Belkin 75.5 gigahertz connection here on the iPad mini. First, I'm going to run the test here on the Google Nexus 7. See, we got the Harrisburg server, so we're going to go ahead and set up the server here on the iPad mini. Right there it is, set up for the same server. So Apple's new technology on wireless, the MIMO technology, supposed to bring better wireless capabilities here for the iPad. Let's see if that is true. So on download speeds here for the Google Nexus, we have a 23.11 download speeds. And for the upload speeds, we have a 529. Let's go ahead and run that on the iPad again. Same server, same Wi-Fi network connection. Actually, on download speeds, we got 2290 here for the iPad mini. And on the upload speeds, we got 4.29. So actually, the Google Nexus actually performed better on wireless performance. Now, I don't usually do network tests because it varies so much on location. But if you guys get different score here for your Wi-Fi cards built into your device, leave a comment down below and let me know. Again, these tests vary so much, but if you have any doubts, you can go ahead and run them yourself. It looks like on these tests here, this test that I performed, the Google Nexus 7 came out on top as in Wi-Fi performance test. So let's go ahead and continue doing more tests. Alright, for the next test, I'm going to do a browser test. I'm going to clear all the cookie and history here for the Google Chrome browser, and also here for Safari I've already did. So I'm going to go ahead and test which one loads web pages faster. Alright, so I'm using Safari here on the iPad, and I was using Chrome here on Google's Nexus. Those are the default browsers on both devices. I got my blog pre-assigned here to the URL. All I got to do is hit go and see which device loads up faster. 1, 2, 3. Wow, it looks like the iPad did it instantly. It was really, really fast. Again, both cookies and histories are removed from both of these devices, but it looks like the iPad mini actually came in a little bit quicker. You guys can be the judge of that. If we zoom in here on both devices, you guys can go ahead and tell me which screen you guys, let me see if I can focus better, which screen you guys prefer to look at. So you can see here's the text on the Google Nexus, and here's the text on the iPad. In my opinion, text color saturation wise, I think the mini look, or the Google Nexus looks a little bit better than the iPad in terms of color saturation. But when it comes to actually pixels, I think the iPad wins on clarity. But again, you guys can be the judge of that. As you can see, the zoom in and out here performs rather about the same, I'd say, on both devices. A little bit faster here on the iPad, but both devices actually performed pretty well there for browser. I think the iPad came in faster, color saturation a little bit better here, and zooming in and out faster here on the iPad. So you guys can be the judge. Leave a comment down below what you think about this test. Here for my next test, I'm going to be running a few set of images here. One of the rear-facing camera of the Google Nexus 7 and one of the rear-facing camera of the iPad mini. Now, I don't really take pictures with my tablets, but if you are taking pictures with your tablets, I'm going to go ahead and show you what the quality of the images are when you take pictures with the back-facing camera. So let's go ahead and roll that right now. Alright guys, so last but not least, I wanted to give you guys a close-up of the screen quality. See if you guys can really depict this on video of the Retina display iPad mini. As you can see there, the screen just looks really, really nice. It almost looks like printed paper because the quality is so nice. Alright, so here is the Google Nexus 7 second generation screen. Looks really nice as well. Alright guys, so that about puts in a wrap here to the video comparison of Google's Nexus 7 second generation against Apple's brand new iPad mini with Retina display. Now both devices are great, but for 16 gigabytes you have to pay $399, which is a premium price here for the iPad mini, even though you get a greater selection of apps and quality apps. Music store here on the Google Nexus 7, you only pay $250 for the 16 gigabyte, which is a lot of money compared to the iPad's premium price. Here on the Google Nexus 7, you'll find all the great applications and music as well. On the iPad, you do get a little bit of a larger screen, even though both are 7-inch. The iPad is a 7.8, so you get a bigger screen, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully this will help you guys determine which tablet fits you the best. And if you like this video, please thumbs up. I really do appreciate it when you guys thumbs up my video. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And of course, don't forget to visit iDeviceHelpUs.blogspot.com. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.